What are the dangers of tax lien certificates and tax deeds that have looming IRS liens on those properties? Should you avoid them? Should you run for the hills? Is it going to gobble up all your money? You're going to lose everything? Or is it not really something you need to worry about? So let's dive into that here today. So this is a question that comes up quite a bit. What happens if there's an IRS lien on the tax deed that I'm wanting to bid on? Or what happens if there's an IRS lien on the tax lien certificate that I'm going to buy? So when it comes to the IRS lien, this is from somebody who has an issue with the IRS. You know, they haven't paid their taxes. Internal Revenue is got the drones out. They're circling the house, surveillance. No, well, you never know. They could be listening through the phone, but that's a different video. So with this situation, if you buy any tax deed or lien, the IRS liens attaches to that property for 120 days, okay? So in general, it's not the biggest deal in the world if there's an IRS lien on a tax deed that you buy. So basically what's going to happen is during that 120 days, the IRS is either going to, like if it's a big asset worth, a couple $100,000, and maybe the IRS lien is, a couple $100,000, then there's a good chance that they might just pay you out. They'll pay you out on the lien with a little bit of interest of what you paid for the deed, because they're going to go and they might sell that asset to recoup their money, okay? Now, what you need to do is check the public records. Obviously, the research is key. Now, when it comes to the tax lien, I wouldn't necessarily say it's nearly as big of a deal, because with the liens, you're going to be waiting, 1 to 2 years for your redemption period to happen anyway. And a lot can happen during that time. And for a lot of properties that don't have an IRS lien, maybe some of them develop an IRS lien during the redemption period. Okay, so when it comes to does the IRS lien get wiped out, the answer to that is no, because it is already a government entity foreclosing, and they're not just going to wipe out themselves on the chain of title, okay? So another thing you can do is use it as a leverage point. If you're getting an auction or a property before the auction, remember with this, you'll be using a title company. So if you buy a property with an IRS lien, you won't be able to get a clear title on that property unless you scoop it up before the auction, and then the title company will sort that out. So in this situation, either the debt gets satisfied from the negotiated price of the property, or maybe you can negotiate with the IRS, or maybe this person has other assets that they can just attach that IRS lien to. Maybe you can negotiate the debt with them as well. There's a lot of things you can do in this situation.